and today we are going to be learning about a modest proposal. So our objective today is that I will be able to comprehend a modest proposal's genre and purpose. I will make cultural, historical, and contemporary connections. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna watch a short video, and while you're watching this short video, I really want you to think about the purpose and the genre of the video, okay?
Welcome. My name is William Graham, and this is my factory. Would you come with me, please? At my factory, the raw materials are sorted by age, weight, and gender. Here we can see how the fresh and best commodities are sorted from those of lesser quality. At this point, it's decided who goes into which pot. Our professional guards are keeping a keen eye to make sure that there's a minimum of mischief. Next, the ingredients are washed and meticulously prepared for production. Here we are in the kitchen. Our sharp-eyed chefs make sure that each and every meal is cooked to perfection. There's no denying that the youngest make the most nourishing, delicious, and wholesome wholesome food, whether stewed, roasted, baked, or boiled. And I have absolutely no doubt that they will equally serve a fricassee or a ragout. It's incredible what a little imagination can do.
Okay, so after watching that short part of the film, we're gonna separate into pairs of two, and you all are going to be answering these questions with your partner. So one of the questions is gonna be, what was the purpose? Was the video convincing? What were some things that caught your attention? Okay, so go ahead and separate into groups of two, and I want you to answer those questions, okay? Okay guys, so let's get into think, pair, share, and let's just go ahead and answer the questions that are on the board, okay? If you guys have any questions, just raise your hand.
What is the purpose?
Well, I think that the purpose was to convince us that human meat is a delicacy, and where were Britain? Great Britain?
No, that time they were telling me I don't know where, and I could have been Indiana.
Was it convincing us because they were showing us how to prepare it and how it's made? And then, okay, what was the part that like caught your attention?
Live baby penis.
Just remember that one of you guys has to present.
No, you go first.
I wrote to be close.
We'll get right back. I really like it. I feel like the part that caught my attention the most is the fact that the cages were oversaturated. Oh, also I didn't see them get fed. That's what caught my attention.
Well, they weren't, why would they get fed? They were
Well,
already
you have to
going,
feed
I
your
know, but
stock
they were already going to get, you're not, like,
In
when
the
you,
factory, you still feed the chicken, no? You
but
still
they
feed
weren't in the
cows.
factory anymore, you dumb. Yeah, because it's dumb.
Excuse me?
Why did I get fed? He was like, it's like, dang, it would be cool, it's like, I would be anxious at school and I'm like, it's about a year ago.
You're never gonna see You know what you should do? Put Jeopardy music over this part. Remember what we're talking about. So that way you get like your interaction. Just say
It's not like mainstream, but I'm sure there's
Triggered.
Yeah, do it explain why it's not
there's certain cars too, certain like.
So for example, what were some things that caught your attention throughout the video? That they were about to
I don't know if they
kill
eat.
babies. Okay, and why did that catch your attention?
Yeah.
Because it was babies or suspicious something like that. Why?
Because
Because they have a lot to learn. They're gonna suffer, they're not gonna have a chance to like and to witness what they're not gonna have the same they're not gonna have the same opportunities as everybody else. And
Yeah, so like she just so you have your like answer the question to the video you didn't say it. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter the idea that. So just think about what you're gonna say, because we're gonna discuss them right now. You're gonna tell us the video, even if you're not sure, you said it's just your questions.
Like jobs, like they'll set big applications and they can be more qualified.
The green brown.
Whatever, like my school.
It's nice. It's like a crazy thing. It's like cannibal classes. It was banned in like a few countries. This one too, the green brown. It was banned in like Germany.
But I mean, you know, it's less.
Yeah.
Because it's like
You can find that
yeah,
video.
but I know they're testing.
But why?
Yeah.
It's all like it's look at my handwriting. I'm sorry, it's not
But right now, we're gonna do discussion, so one of you guys has to. I mean, speak.
Right, there's like some shows like,
Are you talking to her?
No, she's our teacher, why did I talk to her?
What did you say?
I just want to,
Oh.
like they're,
but not to you, to Christian.
I don't. You freaking scared me last time. Yeah, you should.
Why?
You said you were gonna.
Oh, she's very.
I thought you were
in the show, yeah.
Cause I was in a,
At first she told me, she's like, I dropped off. I was like, are you serious?
Like, out of school in general?
Yeah. And I was like,
She thinks she has a choice in that matter.
Yeah.
She's the one that has to support us in
wait,
this
why did I
relationship.
scare you?
She's like, I dropped out. I'm like,
Freddie's like, hell
yeah, and
yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Or other, they're starting to do.
I didn't say that, you're dumb.
Okay, everybody give me 5.
Oh, we have to put our hands. Oh, yeah, anyway. You didn't explain
Okay, is everybody ready to present their findings?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes.
sir.
Ma'am.
Mrs. Pop.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is that one of you all is going to present it. So right now, real quick, decide in your groups of 2 who's gonna speak. So then, I'm gonna say this one.
It used to be earlier, but I shaved all of
Did
it.
you have class?
I used to have
Okay, did you all decide?
Yes.
Okay, do I have any volunteers that wanna go first?
My
Okay.
volunteer was sick.
Go ahead.
We believe that the purpose of this video is to convince us that we should start eating people, as in human flesh, as a delicacy.
Okay.
We do believe that the video was convincing because it was showing us the entire process, probably farm to table, had we finished the video.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that caught our attention were the use of an actual live baby in the kitchen at the end of the video, and the overpopulation of the cages within the factory itself.
Oh, awesome. I like that. Okay, who wants to go next? Okay, go ahead.
So I said that the purpose, because at the beginning they showed like them with all like the dirt on their face, so you can tell that they're poor. So I said like, I don't know, like I guess as a way to fix that, but we didn't think that they were serious just because it's too outrageous. We thought it was convincing. I think like if anyone had like made a joke or laughed, then it would have been like I guess sort of funny, or you could tell that they were like doing it as a joke, but they were all serious the whole time.
Okay.
And like the kids, like no smiling, like no laughing, like they were all serious too. And then like the factory, all the equipment, like the medical personnel, like everything looked legitimate. And then what was shocking for us was the baby at the end as well. And then I think what was shocking is that it kind of resembled the Holocaust. Just because like gas chambers, like that's what I thought of, like bringing them in groups, like kind of like playing off like the boys in their pajamas or something. And then like the slicing of the meat, because it's like you kind of see them before, but you don't see like the process of them like being hurt or like anything like that. But then you see the meat and you're like, oh my god, like it's for real.
Oh, I like your observations. Okay, who wants to go next? Okay, go for it.
The video was very, very unsettling to watch. I thought the beginning led me to believe that they were like saving like some refugees or some orphans.
Okay.
But then when he mentioned how the younger kids had the most nutritious meat, it was clear that they were eating these children. And then what stood out to me was when I saw the bloody meat being cut on the cutting board, and then when they placed the baby on another clean cutting board. Those are mine.
Okay, no, that's good. Okay, last group.
To take away this overpopulation, it was not convincing because it's not humane and every living being has to have a chance to live and not to be treated like a product. And they were about to kill the baby.
That's what caught your attention?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, guys. Thank you for your participation. Okay, so now what we're going to do is that we're going to learn a little bit about Jonathan Swift and why he wrote this proposal. Ready? Okay, so what we're going to do is learn a little bit about a modest proposal. So as you can see, it's very gruesome. But it's gruesome for a reason. So Jonathan Swift wrote a modest proposal for the reason that he wanted to make everybody aware of the situation that was going on. So the situation that was going on was that there was a lot of poverty occurring and a lot of women were having a lot of babies. Why? Because it was obviously in the old age. So Jonathan Swift saw that everybody was in poverty. There was not a lot of product to eat. There was like people like in the streets. So therefore he said, okay, in order to catch their attention, what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna say, hey, okay, we're gonna have to eat the babies. We're gonna have to make the babies into clothes because you guys aren't listening. This is the best proposal that we can have. So, can anybody guess what the genre of this proposal is? Comedy, horror, okay. Actually, although it does have components of, those genres, this is actually a satire. Does anybody know what a satire is?
Yes.
What is it?
Exaggeration.
It is exaggeration. So in order to catch the attention of the audience, we need to exaggerate, and that's exactly what Jonathan Swift did. So he took it to the extreme by saying, hey, you guys, pay attention. If we don't do something about it, we're going to continue in poverty. So in order to catch their attention, what did he do? He said that we were going to eat the babies. So what we're going to do now, since we know a little bit more about Jonathan Swift and why he wrote the proposal, is that we are going to come up with a proposal on our own. So every person is going to come up with a proposal. So what I want you guys to do is, for maybe like about, I would say 5 minutes, is on your own paper individually, I want you to brainstorm contemporary issues that are going on right now in the United States. After 5 minutes, we will discuss and we will brainstorm on the board, okay?
Can you repeat that, please?
Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna come up with contemporary issues. You all individually will come up, at least try to come up with at least 3. And then from there, we're gonna brainstorm on the board, and I will give you an example of a satire, and then from there, you're gonna create your own proposal. Okay? Okay, awesome, let's start. Yes?
Do they have to pertain to the U.S. or can it be like global issues, or should I stick to the U.S.?
Well, it depends. What do you wanna write about?
I was gonna say like corruption in government, but I was thinking more Central America, because I mean, not that there isn't here, but it's more of an issue there.
Okay, no, that's good, yeah, go for it.
So we have to find the issue and then write a proposal how to solve it?
Right now, all we're gonna do is write about the contemporary issues. So you're just gonna make a bullet point list at least 3. So for example, gun laws, mass shootings. You're just gonna list 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You may, but there's a real word for that. It's called immigration.
Oh, I'm being confused.
This is individual. That's right, now too.
do your modest proposal?
Right now, all we're doing is writing the contemporary issues. We haven't started the proposals yet.
Are you not paying
So,
attention? I can relate.
it's not trash, it's composition. Or is it?
Yeah.
It's 'cause I'm gonna forget.
Yes.
Or. How are you? Yeah. Okay. Check this. So I say the.
Wait, don't tell me.
It's supposed to be ridiculous. It's supposed to be an exaggeration. That's a satire. Yes, it pertains to that. That is called terrorist. Terrorist attacks.
So my understanding is that there has always been that it was just a literary genre, and yet she took a subject and make it part of some well-known
That's more
exaggeration.
like a parody. Because satire is more like exaggeration. It's like ridicule.
But like satire to me was an educated parent. Prior to can be just a parent.
It never happened here.
Does that make sense?
I mean, there's different interpretations of it, yes, there is. But from my sense, like what we're doing right now, it's the best definition.
Okay.
You get what I mean? It's because there's different definitions. I mean, that's like when we did that, like all of this,
That's what you said?
that's what I worked on with my essay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you have to explain it in a way where students will understand it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Why don't you leave it out? Cause you need to redo it.
I think I'll stick to that.
Okay, did you guys come up with at least 3? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. At least 3, yes. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna brainstorm on the, what's it called? The chalkboard. So if you guys wanna come up and like just write one, okay? You don't have to write all 3, you're just gonna write 1. So do I have a volunteer to go first? Okay, yeah, Jenny, come on down. Oh yes, that is a very hot topic going on right now. Okay, who wants to go next? Christian, come right in. Okay, who wants to go next? Go for it. Okay, next. Go for it. Okay, who wants to go next? Awesome. Who wants to go next?
Mine's a little variation of the drug lord.
Okay, go for it.
I'm talking specifically about drug laws.
Okay, next. Oh, yes. Obesity, that's a good one. Okay, and last but not least. Terrorist attacks. So you guys, these are all very good. There are definitely things that are very controversial right now and that are occurring in the United States, and not just in the United States. You know, they're happening globally. The one that really stuck out to me was drug wars. Would you like to explain a little bit about why you chose that?
I guess it's just an issue pertaining to El Paso as a border city, because now there was the cartel that was running Mexico, and then now another cartel is challenging them. So you're seeing more blood on the streets in the border area.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Who was it that chose global warming?
Me.
Can you explain a little bit about that, like where it is that you're going with this?
Yeah, so right now there's a lot of debate. Basically, some people believe it's happening, some people don't. I think it's happening, but it's just like a whole thing of like, we don't have a lot of time to take action because basically the glaciers are melting.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna cause the water levels to rise. So it's just like a big debate whether it's happening or not.
Oh, okay. I love it. Okay, so one that I'm going to add in is, and this has been going on for a really long time, is racism. We see it everywhere. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now you don't necessarily have to do the proposal on these that you put up here. You may not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my taking on the proposal on racism. So what I wrote for my proposal is, let me find it first. Okay, so one way that we can fix racism is by having people switch lives. So for example, let's say we have an Anglo-Saxon woman and she is discriminating against a Mexican person. So what's gonna happen is that they're gonna switch lives, and she's gonna have to live as a Mexican person for a day, and the other person's gonna live as an Anglo-Saxon. So by doing this, it's gonna teach the person a lesson of not to be racist, and it's also going to give them a different perspective on like what it is to have like a different culture, what it is to have a different skin color. Okay, so now what we're going to do, now that I give you an example, now mine isn't as ridiculous as Jonathan Swift. It's not as exaggerated. You all can do something that's very exaggerated, something that's very dark. It doesn't matter as long as you create your proposal. So now what we're gonna do is you're gonna get out your paper and you're gonna write at least one paragraph on your proposal. Okay, you can do it as exaggerated as you want, as dark as you want, it doesn't matter, as long as you're following the satire. It has to include satire, okay? Okay, so let's do that. Let's take about 15 minutes for this. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we're ready when you are.
Okay, so I choose overpopulation and I propose to do a purge game to reduce population.
A purge game? Okay, and what are the rules for the purge game?
Really?
Yes.
Free for all.
What are they supposed to do? Not everybody knows what a purge is.
Yeah, what's a purge?
To kill people freely.
Okay.
Game.
Just kill people? What if you don't want to kill people?
Yeah.
Is it once a year? Is it once a year, or is it like, how long does it
Who will be
last?
participating in this purge you speak of?
Everybody?
Is it all crime or just murder?
Just murder?
And is it a mandatory thing?
Yeah.
So everybody must participate.
Everybody.
Can you kill yourself?
If you do that, yeah.
Okay, and after all this killing is occurring, what are we gonna do with the bodies?
Burn them,
And who's gonna take care of the burning?
everybody.
You.
Volunteers.
Does anybody have any questions about his proposal? More questions, more comments?
You're interested in it.
No.
Yes.
Did you say how long it would last for?
Probably 48 hours.
48 hours?
Yeah.
Like 2 days?
Is there like exempt people, like people with over like, that live in like a community? No, like you can kill anybody?
So the
Yeah.
elderly, infants, okay.
Yes.
How do you think it'll help overpopulation? Do you think people will actually kill people?
Of course it will. They're crazy.
But wouldn't you need, like more, cause I don't care about overpopulation, so like, it really wouldn't benefit me, so like, who does it benefit? So cause like, in the person I've heard, people do more than just murder, so they steal, they break into houses, they do all that stuff instead of just murder, but like murder, who like, how would it
Yeah.
benefit
But
if
the
it's
thing
just
is that
overpopulation?
that his proposal, I believe, is just dealing with overpopulation. That's why he's only adding the killing part.
So it's just, but anybody can overpopulate. I mean, anybody can murder.
Everybody.
I don't have a gun.
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, right now with the election, because a lot of people are like scared of overpopulation because of like the influx of immigrants.
Yeah.
So I would say the people that are like Republican or against immigrants coming in, that would kind of appeal to them. So they might like, you know, do it as an overpopulation, like fear of overpopulation, so that they would go to that.
Be like an excuse to get rid of illegal immigrants.
My last question to you is it going to happen yearly? Is it going to happen monthly? What is your time span for this?
I guess
When
yearly.
will you stop this?
Yearly.
So it's going to occur yearly. After a certain amount of people are dead, are you going to stop it? Or how long is it going to span out?
When it reduces well.
Okay, and what if people keep having children and babies and no change occurs?
It's pretty far. You kill everybody. You could kill kids too. Babies.
Or delay.
I'll choose it.
I'll kill little windows.
Okay, wait, what we're gonna do to celebrate him, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do fireworks. So what a firework is that you're gonna go like this, and then like this. So we're all gonna do a firework for him, okay? Everybody ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for participating. All right, who's next? Okay. Okay, and then tell us what your contemporary issue was.
So my contemporary issue is global warming.
Okay.
And what I said was the world will become completely underwater by 2030. Polar bears will drown. The state of Florida will no longer exist. It will be simply an ocean. The temperature on Earth in the summer will reach 180 degrees. We'll be forced to leave planet Earth and move to Mars. Earth will become habitable for the forthcoming generations. It's pretty dark, but that's what they're saying.
So you're proposing that we move to Mars?
Well, I think that right now we're looking at Mars because it's like the only other planet that's still sort of habitable.
Cause
But
they found
it's-
water, right?
Yeah, they found water. It's not completely habitable, but that's why they're doing like all kinds of research and stuff to see where, like, if we have that option or whatever, but they're saying like 2030, like, which is not a lot of time. I don't know, I hear different things. I hear people that even say that it's not even real and that it's just an excuse to get people to vote or to get a certain candidate in office. I'm just like, why are we taking a chance? Like, we only have one planet. That type of stuff, so.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? No? Okay, so for his celebration, what we're gonna do is called a microwave. So this is a microwave. So everybody, get your hands up. Thank you, Christian.
Good.
Okay, our last presenter.
So what I'm gonna be talking about is ocean and littering. So what I came up with was for to create like a really big like biodome filled with dead turtles, dead sea turtles, and a bunch of trash, and whoever is caught littering has to live in it for a week. I wanted to do something more dark, like something that had to do with like making them struggle to breathe with something, but I feel like that's too much. Because I know that when you throw stuff in the sea, like the turtles and all the fish, like they get caught and so they die because they get asphyxiated. But I feel like it's better for them to live in like a really nasty place, just like how the ocean is, and just to live in there for a week.
Okay, now my question for you is, so they would only be living there for a week, correct?
Well, I think that should be enough. I mean, if
Do you
they,
think?
well, I think so. If they get caught doing it again, then they'll probably expand it and they'll make it even more dirtier. But I feel like living in a thing where with like corpses, I think it's pretty intense. I would hate it.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, go ahead.
Would you just include sea turtles or any other living?
Well, whatever I find, it's not just like including. It's like we would go to the ocean and like get stuff from there, to be like a duplicate of what it looks like.
Like pollutants from the ocean that
Yes.
you would dump in this biodome?
Yes.
Can you explain what that word biodome means? I never heard it.
And my understanding is just like a huge glass container with stuff in it. Like in elementary school, I don't know if they ever made you do like a desert or like a rainforest and you had to make it and it's like what's inside. That's what I have an idea of like what it is. But in this one, it would be like an ocean thing. I don't think it would be filled with a lot of water, or maybe it would. I didn't really think about that yet. If we would have like oxygen connected to them, because I mean we don't want them to completely die, but we want them to be able to live in this nasty place.
Do you think they would actually stop littering after?
I mean, I would hope so. Like I said, we would try to make it as nasty as possible because I've seen pictures of how the ocean is and it looks pretty disgusting. And I feel like, I mean, if there was like really strict laws, like if we like somehow were able to find every person that littered and had like enough for every person to be in one, I would hope. I don't know, did it work for you? What do you think?
I think something showing like how pretty turtles are and how pretty the ocean is would motivate me more to keep it that way. You know what I mean? And like not want to litter it. Seeing something that's like living in litter just kind of makes me feel like, oh, well, this is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
that
it
would
is
work
scary.
for me too. That would work for me too, but I know there are some people that really don't care.
Yeah.
So I think that would work for like the people who are like causing most of the problem. Yes.
I just think it's funny because like if we don't even care about our own planet, like I feel like we don't care about other people's ecosystems, you know? Like, that's
Yeah,
what
so I
it
feel
seems
like it would work for people like that. The people that, because I know like most of us are aware of it and we like are really careful when it comes to polluting, but I feel like there's people that just really don't care. So I would hope it would work for them.
Okay, any more questions or comments? No? Okay, so for Milagros' celebration, what we're gonna do is we're gonna blow her kisses. Okay?
Oh my god.
Everybody,
You guys are
on
like,
the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Okay.
you didn't even do it.
Okay,
Was I supposed to?
so as you all can see, how satire can really help us see all the issues that are going on in the United States and how we can really take them into perspective. So does anybody have any questions about what we talked about today, or do you guys have any comments or like any questions that you guys didn't understand? No? Yes, Demi?
Do you think that if, I guess, like something similar to Jonathan Swift, a modest proposal, like came out today and say it was like a bestseller or something, do you think it would enact change? Like, would satire work for today's age?
You know, I think that if it were to come out in a printed version, I don't think it would work. I think since we're in an era where technology has really taken over, I think more like a PSA or more like a video, like for instance the video that we saw today, I think that would make it more, what's the word for it, like more Effective, exactly. It would reach more people, in other words, because now we have an audience of younger children, and they're mostly like on Instagram, social media platforms, YouTube. So I think this would definitely reach more people. Would it be effective? Yes. Not in a printed version, I don't believe, but more in like a technological version. Any other questions? Okay guys, thank you for your participation.